I am Christopher McQuarrie, the director and one of the writers and producers of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
What are we doing?
Finding us a new car.
The inspiration for this sequence actually occurred to me during the shooting of Mission Impossible Fallout, when I was scouting locations for the chase scene in Paris, and I came across a little Fiat 500 that was parked along the Seine River. And I thought it would be great, the idea of watching Ethan Hunt and Tom Cruise driving in a car like that. When I pitched this idea to Tom, he immediately appreciated the notion of doing a car chase that involved more humor than any of the sequences we had done previously. And he really leaned into that. Something to watch during this sequence is the behavior between Tom Cruise and Hayley Atwell. You're looking at two actors performing in two shots, meaning you don't have any editorial control. It's not like I can pick the best moments of each actor. They have to really be giving you their best at the exact same time. And what it really does is it creates an affinity for these two characters. The most important part about this sequence is not really the action. It's the feeling of a relationship developing between two people who actually don't want to be together. And this car chase is all about creating circumstances whereby they are forced together, and over the course of a sequence, you feel them turning into a team. Rome is a very tricky place to shoot. The Fiat is a very difficult car to drive, and obviously it's very difficult to drive that car with handcuffs, let alone on cobblestone streets, which make all of the driving, everything that you see Tom doing, becomes completely unpredictable. And what you end up with is a sequence where the car almost has a mind of its own. It becomes a character in the sequence, along with Hayley's hair, as you can see there. In this part of the sequence, we ended up on the Spanish Steps. We were allowed to shoot at the Spanish Steps with the understanding that we never could actually physically touch the Spanish Steps. But so long as we never touched the Spanish Steps, we could do whatever we want. So what we did is we built the Spanish Steps in 3 sections on a back lot so that we could drive cars down them. And everything that Tom and Hayley are doing here is extremely difficult and extremely punishing. The car doesn't have really great suspension, so the riding down those steps is very jarring. And when we got into this bit here, where the car is rolling over, we did in 3 sections. One, Tom drove down the steps. Then we had a bunch of grips roll a car down the steps with no one in it. And then finally we built a padded interior for the two actors to actually roll down the steps with the cameras rolling.